get to. We're privileged. We're honored that people choose to make the trip and come to Athol.
We make sure everything is perfectly aligned. Whether they notice it or not, we notice it, and it's always about the little details that we love.
We've got a very young crew too, really, for the most part. Ground duck and Wagyu beef quesadilla. The filling's gonna be great. And so we'll do it up with the pesto. I made new pickles today too. They've got just an amazing amount of talent and passion, and they've got great eyes for detail. But then we need to cut it up into a dice like this, and we need to saute it off.
And do you want that low and slow, or do you want to just sear it up?
No, it's kind of low and slow. If you show them kind of what you want and where you're going, they're like, yep, got this. Now we don't need to go out and bug Melissa.
Just finishing setting up the table, going through the last minute details, making sure everything's set up. The crew is working hard to finish last touches, and we're just kind of waiting for the guests to arrive.
The gang is all here, and we'll get our list banged out, and we'll be excited to see Rob and Cambria and their crew from Hayden Real Estate Group coming out and joining us for dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
On paper, no chance that this business makes it. Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
It's limited seating, and on top of that, you do zero marketing. How does this work? I've been a fan of you and your work and your restaurants. And you know, the thing that most impresses me is the food is out of this world. But the thing that impresses me as well is your delivery, the experience of you explaining the food, but also the clear passion for not only food, but creating an exquisite experience for your guests. So how did you get started?
After a pretty distinguished 40-year career as an international gymnastics coach, a brilliant business decision with no real training would be to open a niche restaurant and say Athol.
It's middle of nowhere. Yeah, yeah.
Right? We started as a bed and breakfast, which is completely illegal, and then we started serving dinner to our guests because there was nowhere to go eat within 12 miles. And according to the 1970 Idaho State Health Code, or you're allowed to serve breakfast from home, you can't serve dinner. Which is why bed and breakfast can survive, which is great. You know, we just did a dinner and invited some friends, and they liked it. Some food critics came out, and all of a sudden people started wanting to come to dinner. We got to go on Food Network and cook. When we started at our house, we had a 4-burner electric stove and 1 oven in a kitchen not much bigger than these 2 dining tables.
Yeah.
And we were able to do 15 and 16 course dinners. But you know, we were able to kind of
There it is.
come to Candle in the Woods. We give you your own fly swatter at dinner.
Yeah.
Well, welcome all. Thank you so much for joining us. We're way better lit tonight than normal, too. We've got 14 courses on the menu tonight. Should be a fun night of food and festivities, and who knows, maybe a little sweet Caroline at the end. We'll find out. Your best bite is to take a fork and just shovel straight down so you get some of the tuna.
You have a fanatical attachment to how your guests are enjoying their food,
Yeah.
their evening, and all, and you pay attention to that.
Yeah, everything is about, is the guest experience matter? Like, do details matter? Yes. You know, in the big scheme of things, you know, we try to make sure that all the details are covered, and we try to make sure everybody's experience is the best that we can possibly make it. Even though we're in Athol, it can still be a world-class experience as far as details. What we have here, this is a 1-bite taste of Italy. Trust the chef, do it as 1 bite or it's gonna end up all over your outfit. It'll go and end up all over your outfit. We go through the same thing every day, and we don't really cut many corners, and we've got a great team. The kitchen crew, they're the ones that kind of make the magic happen every day, and I get to come out and talk to the guests and drink wine. It's kind of a good gig, really. Take your picture, dig in. It's gonna be way better than I made it sound like it was going to be, I promise.
I think that right now, in the business climate that we have right now, you can't overstate the importance of the culture that you create in your organization. if you've done the work of creating a great culture, that's a massive competitive edge because you can continue to deliver a phenomenal experience for your guests. You've literally curated and cultivated that culture within your organization because you're so focused on, instilling within them the passion to serve others. So not only are you creating a great experience for your clients, you also do that by means of creating a great experience and a great culture within your organization. And man, does it ever show.
Well, thank you. And again, it's easy to be gracious when I've got a team that's back there doing the actual magic every night. We don't do things because it's our way. We do things because it's the right way, at least the best way that we know.
So we just sent them out for our recess, and they're upstairs in our game room. We're now resetting our entire table to get ready for the next few dishes. And we'll go set new wine glasses and new silverware and really have them ready with their wine poured right when they sit down.
You're supposed to be half drunk already. Feel free to play games or just sit around awkwardly for a minute or so and listen for the bell, and we'll be off and running. And
93% of businesses fail within 10 years. Here you are 15 years later, booked out months in advance, right? But literally, Dave, for real, what would you say to someone who has an idea, wants to start a business? What advice would you give?
You have to be customer focused. You've got to say, what is the experience you want people to pull away from that? So if you're starting to look at the nuts and bolts of things, but even before that, you've got to go back and say, do you have passion to do this? Some people overpromise and underdeliver.
Right.
My favorite model is you overpromise and overdeliver. Okay, and of course, what carbonara would be complete without shaved black truffle over top? Because, so take your picture first, but then dump the quail egg on top, dump your quail egg on top, mix it all in with the pasta, then divide it up between the two of you and have at it.
In any business, there's the artist, there's the entrepreneur, and then there's the manager.
Right.
Oftentimes, what a business owner or entrepreneur discovers is they might have two of the three.
If they're lucky.
If they're lucky, very few have all three attributes that are absolutely critical for the sustainability and viability of a business. What happens with an entrepreneur is, or a business person, is they discover that they are indeed an artist. They're really passionate, they're really good at what they do.
Sure.
They might have some entrepreneurial spirit, which might be like, I'm gonna open up a business, or I'm gonna now create a business out of that passion, right? But what oftentimes people struggle with is either the entrepreneurship part or the management part.
Not even entrepreneurial spirit, as more as entrepreneurial know-how in some ways, because lots of people want to be successful businesses, but there are skills that go with them. Keep the fat in the pan, and then he can actually warm the noodles up.
I'm doing the donuts here.
Okay, so Casey, if you can be on that, would be awesome. All right, I think we're good. The management part is, I think, where a lot of small businesses, as you mentioned, sole proprietors, suffer.
Right.
There's an old saying in sports that says you can't be upset with the results you didn't get by the work you didn't do.
Absolutely.
And of course, if you're gonna have Gouda damn cheese, you have to have a little chocolate-covered salted caramel to go with it. We recommend doing a little sip of pour, nibble of cheese, nibble of chocolate, whatever blows your skirt up.
There's so many business principles that you embody, and as a guest who's a business owner, it's so clear, it's so amazing, the culture and the experience that you've created. So really, thank you for doing this. It's an honor for us to be able to feature you in your restaurant, and I don't know of a greater compliment that I could give you other than my mentors who are so important to our business, bringing them to your restaurant.
I'm very proud of our little crew. They do an outstanding job, and we're blessed. We're blessed, and it was such a pleasure having you guys here tonight. So you guys, thank you so much, crew. Thank you guys for a wonderful job tonight.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you
brother.
so much for
Cheers.
doing this. It's really been a pleasure.
Pleasure.